You connect to Wi-Fi. The signal bars are full. Your device stays connected. Everything looks exactly like it should. You open a browser, type in a website and wait. Nothing loads. You try another site. Same thing. You check your Wi-Fi. Still connected. You turn the Wi-Fi off and back on. Still nothing. You restart your phone. Nothing. You look at the router. The lights look normal. You have absolutely no idea what is wrong. This has happened to almost everyone, and almost everyone has the same reaction. The internet is broken. But here's the thing. The internet is probably not broken. Your connection is probably not broken either. What failed is something much more specific. Something invisible. Something that most people never think about, because they were never told it exists. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what is happening when this happens, and more importantly, you will know where it failed and why. Let's walk through it. Setup. What the user experiences. So you are sitting there, Wi-Fi connected, no internet. What do you actually do? Most people start troubleshooting instinctively. You toggle the Wi-Fi. You check if other devices work. You maybe walk closer to the router. You restart things. Sometimes it fixes itself. Sometimes it doesn't. And if you call your internet provider, the first thing they say is, can you restart the router? Sometimes that works too, but nobody explains why. Nobody tells you what restarting actually fixed. It just comes back and you move on. The reason this is so frustrating is that the symptom, no internet, tells you almost nothing about the actual problem. It's like your car is not starting. That one symptom could mean 100 different things. A dead battery, no fuel, a broken starter. The symptom is the same. The cause is completely different. With internet connectivity, the same principle applies. The moment you see that little warning icon on your Wi-Fi, or the browser says it cannot reach the site, something very specific failed. But that failure is hidden behind a single message that says nothing useful. To understand what failed, we first need to understand what is supposed to happen. And that is where things get interesting. What is actually happening behind the scenes? Here's something most people do not realize. When you connect to Wi-Fi and open a browser, your device does not just reach out to the internet in one simple step. It performs a series of very precise, very fast operations, one after another, each one depending on the one before it. If any single step fails, everything stops, and you see no internet. Think of it like a relay race, 4 runners. If the first runner drops the baton, the race is over. It does not matter how fast the other 3 runners are. Nothing continues until that first handoff succeeds. Your device is running a relay race every single time you try to load a page. It is just doing it so fast, usually under a second, that you never notice it happening until it fails. So let us walk through each leg of that race, and I want you to understand not just what each step does, but what it is actually trying to solve, because each step exists for a reason. This is not arbitrary complexity. Every part of this process is solving a real problem that someone had to figure out. The step-by-step journey. Step 1. You are connected to Wi-Fi. What does that actually mean? When your device connects to a Wi-Fi network, it is connecting to a router. The router is a physical device, usually in your home or office, and its job is to act as a gateway, a middleman. Your device talks to the router, and the router talks to the internet on your behalf. But before your device can talk to anything, it needs an identity on the network. It needs an address. This address is called an IP address. You have probably heard of it. It is just a number, a way of saying this device is here on this network. When you connect to Wi-Fi, the router assigns your device an IP address automatically. This process has a name, DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. You do not need to memorize that. What matters is that without this address, your device cannot send or receive anything. It is like arriving in a city with no street address. Nobody knows where to send anything. So step 1, the device gets an address. If this fails, nothing else works. Step 2. You type a website in your browser. Let us say you type in something simple, a news site, a search engine, anything. Now here's something that might surprise you. Your browser does not actually understand that name. The internet does not understand names. It only understands numbers, IP addresses. Every server in the world, every website, every service you use online lives at a numbered address. The name you type is just a human-friendly label. So before your browser can connect to anything, it has to translate that name into a number. This translation system is called DNS, Domain Name System. Here's the simple way to think about it. Imagine a massive phone book. You know the name of the person you want to call, but you need their number. You look up the name, you get the number, and then you can actually make the call. DNS is that phone book. When you type a website name, your device quietly asks a DNS server what is the number for this name. The DNS server looks it up and sends back an IP address. Now your device knows where to go. This step happens in milliseconds. You never see it, but it is happening every single time. If DNS fails, your device cannot translate the name. It gets nothing back, and so it cannot connect to anything. Even if your Wi-Fi is perfect, even if the router is working fine, even if the website itself is running normally. This is one of the most common reasons for the Wi-Fi connected, no internet problem, and it's completely invisible to the user. Step 3. Your device now has the IP address. Time to connect. This is where something called the TCP handshake happens. TCP stands for the Transmission Control Protocol. Again, do not worry about the name. What you need to understand is this: before your browser sends any actual request, before it asks for a web page, it first has a brief conversation with the server just to confirm the connection is stable. Your device says, I want to connect. The server says, I received that, ready. Your device says, ready. 3 messages, back and forth. This takes almost no time at all, but it confirms that both sides can hear each other, and that the connection is reliable enough to proceed. If this handshake fails, if one side never responds, then the connection never opens. The browser just sits there waiting. Step 4. If the website uses a secure connection, and most do, there is an additional handshake that happens right after the TCP one. This is called TLS. You have seen the little padlock icon in your browser's address bar. That padlock means TLS is active. It stands for Transport Layer Security, and its job is to encrypt everything you send and receive, so nobody in the middle can read it. The TLS process involves your browser and the server agreeing on an encryption method and verifying the server's identity. It is a bit like checking someone's ID before having a private conversation. This also happens in fractions of a second. You never see it. But if something is wrong with the server security certificate, if it has expired, or it is not trusted, your browser will refuse to continue. It will show you a warning instead of the page. Step 5. Everything is connected, encrypted, and ready. Now your browser finally sends the actual request. It sends what is called an HTTP request. This is your browser saying, please give me this specific page. The server receives it, processes it, and sends back the page. Your browser receives it and displays it. That entire sequence, DHCP, DNS, TCP handshake, TLS, HTTP request, happens in under 1 second when everything is working. You type an address, you press enter, and the page appears. It only feels instant. It is actually a relay race, failure points where things go wrong. So now you know the sequence. Let's talk about where it breaks. And I want to be specific here, because this is the part nobody talks about. Failure point 1. The router gives your device a bad or no IP address. This can happen when the router is overwhelmed, when it restarts unexpectedly, or when there is a configuration error. Your device thinks it is connected, but it has no valid address. It cannot participate in the network at all. This is often by restarting the router or reconnecting your device. It forces a fresh address assignment. Failure point 2. DNS is not responding. This is extremely common, and it is almost never explained to users. Your device connects to Wi-Fi just fine, but the DNS server is supposed to use is unreachable, overloaded, or misconfigured. Your device sends a translation request, what is the IP for this name, and gets nothing back, so it cannot connect to anything, even though the network itself is working perfectly. This is why sometimes you can fix the problem by changing your DNS settings manually instead of using the one on your router side. You tell your device to use a public one. This is actually something anyone can do, and it solves this specific problem immediately. Failure point 3. The TCP handshake times out. The server you are trying to reach is not responding. Maybe it is down. Maybe there is a firewall blocking the connection. Maybe there is packet loss somewhere between you and the server, meaning pieces of data are getting lost in transit. Your browser waits for the handshake response. It never comes. Eventually it gives up. Failure point 4. TLS fails. The security certificate is expired, untrusted, or there is a mismatch. Your browser detects this and refuses to display the page. You might see a specific error message, in this case, something about connection not being private. Failure point 5. The physical path breaks somewhere. Maybe the router itself has the internet access, but the device is not fully on the network. Maybe the cable between the router and the modem is loose. Maybe your internet provider is having an outage in your area. Maybe there is a routing issue somewhere in the backbone of the internet, large infrastructure that connects different networks around the world. In this case, your Wi-Fi is perfectly fine, your device is perfectly fine, but the path from your router to the internet is broken somewhere. This is the one you actually cannot fix yourself. You can only wait. Each of these failures look exactly the same to you. Wi-Fi connected, no internet, same symbol, same frustration. Result: completely different causes. Connecting it back. Let us go back to the beginning. You are sitting there, Wi-Fi connected, nothing loads. Now you know what is probably happening. Your device went through a sequence, address, assignment, name translation, connection handshake, security check, page request, and somewhere in that sequence one step failed. The Wi-Fi signal was fine. That part worked. The radio connection between your device and the router was established, but somewhere after that, the relay race broke down. Maybe DNS was not responding. Maybe the router lost its internet connection. Maybe the server was unreachable. Maybe a certificate failed. The important thing is, these are specific diagnosable failures. They are not mysteries. They are not magic. They are a sequence of steps. And any one of them can be the thing that stops everything. And now that you know the sequence exists, you can start to reason about it. You can ask, was it a DNS problem? Was it a router? Was it on a server side? Instead of just restarting everything and hoping. That shift from confusion to understanding is what this channel is about. The internet looks simple from the outside. You connect, you browse, it works. But underneath that experience is a series of processes, each one building on the last, each one depending on specific things being in place. When those processes work, they are invisible. When they fail, all you see is a warning icon and a blank page. The gap between what users see and what's actually happening is enormous. And that gap is not your fault. It is just that most of this was never explained to anyone outside of technical fields. But you know it now. If you want to see the entire process we walked through, the full sequence from the Wi-Fi connection to loaded page, each step laid out clearly, I'll put together a simple one-page breakdown you can save or print. The link is in the description. There will be more videos in this series. We are going to keep going deeper into the infrastructure that makes the modern world work. Things like how your data actually travels across the ocean, how a website knows who you are, how encryption actually protects you, and much more. Take it slow. Each piece builds on the last. Thanks for watching.